I want you to imagine an HOA where neighbors are just voluntarily fixing irrigation lines.
Right. Not exactly a common sight.
No, not at all. And on top of that, their reserve fund is basically making so much money on its own, it operates like a mini hedge fund.
Yeah, which is the exact opposite of typical life in a managed community, right? Where it feels like your assessments only go up.
And the neighborhood is just constantly grumbling. But today's mission, we are unpacking the Q1 2026 financial status of the Watercolors at La Quinta HOA.
Using their March 2026 board packet, right?
And a really interesting strategic update from their treasurer, Dan Steele. He gave this to the 2027 Budget Committee because this specific community, they just surpassed $750,000 in total assets.
Which is huge. Passing that $750,000 mark really changes the conversation from, simple neighborhood survival to actual long-term wealth strategy.
Okay, let's unpack this. Total assets actually hit $761,651 in the first quarter. Yeah, jumping over 34 grand just since December. And a major driver here is a really healthy operating surplus, particularly in landscaping, which is over $5,000 under budget.
That's a massive saving for just one quarter.
Right. And the documents show this isn't just accounting magic. It's neighbors actively sweeping sidewalks and changing light bulbs. It's a real co-op mentality.
So is this surplus just from neighborly elbow grease, or is there a larger financial engine at work here?
Well, what's fascinating here is that the manual labor functions a lot like the alternator in a car engine.
Okay, how so?
So it provides that initial spark, right? Saving thousands in operating expenses. And that allows the larger financial engine to actually run and build momentum. The treasurer is taking those saved dollars and, well, weaponizing them through a really active investment strategy.
Here's where it gets really interesting. Treasurer Dan Steele is running a strategy of laddering high-yield U.S. Treasury bills. But let's clarify how that actually functions for anyone listening.
Yeah, because he isn't just dumping cash into a single bond and locking it away for 10 years. Exactly.
Laddering means buying T-bills that mature at staggered intervals. So say every 3, 6, and 9 months.
So they always have cash on hand.
Exactly. This structure ensures the HOA constantly has access to liquid cash as different bills mature, while simultaneously capturing those high-interest yields. I mean, in just the first 3 months of 2026, reserve interest topped $6,000.
That's incredible.
Yeah, they are projecting over $24,000 in interest this year, which easily eclipses the $20,600 they earned in all of 2025.
So the money is generating its own substantial revenue stream at this point.
If we connect this to the bigger picture, this autonomous reserve growth provides deep financial security. By staggering the maturity dates, the community creates a self-replenishing buffer against sudden costs.
Without having to just immediately slap special assessments on the homeowners.
Right.
But wait, let's look at the actual scale of these numbers. Because a record-breaking $24,000 in interest sounds great on a spreadsheet, but...
It's not unlimited money.
Exactly. That feels like a drop in the bucket if an entire 20-year-old roofing system fails or, major road needs repaving. If we are breaking interest records and saving on landscaping, why is there a warning in this report about increasing 2027 member assessments?
This raises an important question, which is how long can proactive investments outpace broader economic inflation?
Right.
The memo clearly outlines the stark reality of the community's 20-plus-year-old infrastructure. The deferred maintenance and looming structural costs are massive.
And you can't volunteer your way out of a new roof.
You really can't. Furthermore, the Treasurer's update cites these inescapable macroeconomic realities. We're talking a war economy, supply constraints, and soaring energy prices.
Which we actually see in the report. The utilities line item perfectly illustrates that friction. Despite the community saving thousands on landscaping, their utility bills are already $1,800 over budget for the quarter.
Yeah, largely driven by seasonal gas and water rates.
It's unavoidable.
That is the core conflict the 2027 Budget Committee is facing. The micro savings generated by a perfectly run local economy.
Those efficiently changed light bulbs.
Right. Those eventually get swallowed by the macro costs of global inflation. The T-bill strategy buys them crucial time and liquidity, but it just cannot permanently outrun the depreciating physical assets of the property itself.
So what does this all mean?
It means the Watercolors at La Quinta HOA has used really disciplined spending and a smart T-bill laddering strategy to build a formidable financial fortress for today.
But 2027 is still coming.
Exactly. No matter how efficiently a microeconomy is managed, it cannot entirely insulate itself from macroeconomic realities. They have to brace for inflation and aging infrastructure.
Leaving you with something to really mull over. If a community with over $750,000 in assets, record-breaking investment yields, and dedicated volunteer labor still has to prepare for assessment hikes,
Yeah.
how will typical communities, the ones without these distinct advantages or active financial strategies, survive the economic pressures of the coming years?